Hello, welcome back to Blender Live. In this episode, I want to talk about the latest Dream Texture add-on in Blender. So we have this Dream Texture add-on for a while in Blender. It's basically giving you ability to generate AI art, the way they call it. It's a little bit controversial and always gonna be controversial. Basically, you can give like a text prompt or anything, or give it like a information such as depth, or maybe you can draw like grease pencil, and you can basically make anything, right? Anything basically. And recently, Dream Texture add-on has been updated with ability to generate from SDXL, and with SDXL is Stable Diffusion XL. It can actually create something that's totally looking like realistic. In this case, I specify like oil painting of something, so I get this result. Uh, so let me actually start from scratch. How should I explain this? Um, so it's controversial because you can just prompt anything, right? Prompt anything. In the past, we can Google search anything, or we have app for everything. These days, we can actually prompt anything, and it's gonna create AI art, which is really controversial. You can ask, usually in the past, you can ask an artist, or if you're an artist yourself, you can create anything out of ether, like out of your imaginations. So it's like a little bit like a function. So in recent posts on X or Threads or Twitter X, John Maeda is one of, I think, my online mentor, imaginary mentor anyway. He said something about everything is a functions, like fx. um, if you don't understand the idea, you can ask Bard. For example, Bard is Google AI, right? So you can, I want to understand fx and about math and functions. I found this kind of interesting. Yeah, f represents like a function. F with the bracket represent a functions, and x represent the value. So if you put an x inside a functions like sine or cosine, as you know, in Blender, or if you are using geometry nodes, and I explained many times, it gives you like a wave motion. That's kind of one of applications. So a functions where y equal fx can be anything. It represent relationship between product and quality. I don't know. Yeah, this is the way Bart explained it. But nowadays, we can basically prompt anything. If I'm using like, in this case, I'm using Bing. I tell Bing to generate half-burnt cigarette next to red rose. Yeah, it's based on recent Netflix movie that I watched about cigarette girl. Anyway, I managed to create this kind of photo. It's controversial because why? It's a photograph. Who made this photo, right? The AI made it, but the AI made all of this. Some people will say, okay, that's because it was trained by an artist, by other artists, and illustration and everything. Yeah, it's kind of like that, but also it's kind of not exactly. So I created some, random stuff. I can just prompt it. And yeah, this one, I really like this one. This one is a dwarf eating English breakfast. You get some crazy stuff, crazy result occasionally. I like Bing because Bing is really fast. I only have around 10 every day, like free creations. Inside Blender, however, you can create as many as you want. Oh, this one is my own creations. It's a fox drinking coffee. There's a little bird talking with the fox. Yeah, I experiment with a lot of things. I believe this one might actually takes a while to create, around 1 minute or 30 seconds, but I can recreate it. I can demonstrate it to you. If it's 512 by 512, um, it should be fast enough. And so I don't just talk. So Dream Texture add-on from Carson Katri. This is the setup that I have for version 0.3. There's also already the latest versions, but this one kind of working. So you need to find a model first. By default, it doesn't have all the models that needed. You can download the SDXL and refiner for the latest one, version 1.0. That's gonna run a little bit slow on Mac M2, but it will still run. I already downloaded some. The coolest one actually, this one from MacGyver SDXL. It's called no, not MacGyver one. There's another one. This one I think Segment SSD1B. That one is a little bit faster than normal SDXL, but the MacGyver one is like, I think, based on the older SD Stable Diffusion, but this is quite realistic and it's quite fast. So maybe I should start from scratch. This one already have everything, right? Like all this stuff being generated overnight. All kind of random visuals, animal doing something or eating or drinking something based on this text. I'll start from scratch. So the cool thing, of course, in Blender is like, if you generate this image inside Blender, then it's gonna be packed inside blend file. So the blend file itself become like a little bit like a function. It's like a book. Yeah, I think book is a good analogy in this case, a book with ideas. So when you make something out of nothing, when an artist, a really good artist, of course, use reference as well, but they have imagination and they want to create something, of course, that's the basic ideas, right? They want to make something. If you make it inside Blender files, it could be like a book or an animation, and it can become a film. Or yeah, it's not a game. Blender, in the past, you can use Blender to create a game as well, so that's really powerful. But nowadays you use Unity, Unreal, or Godot game engine to create games. Anyhow, blend file is part of the really powerful tools in this case. So yeah, I talked too much today, maybe just getting really philosophical about the whole thing. Blend files can be anything. It's pretty crazy. I create an image anyway. Let's make it 512 by 512. I think if I make it 1024 by 1024, that's gonna be a lot slower to run on this Mac M2. Let's save this. I call this function everything. Okay, this is the Dream Texture add-on. Dream Texture add-on can live here on the 3D view. It can live here as an image and part of image editor. So you can project whatever you prompted on the 3D objects, or you can do it here, or you can also use compositor and blend it with your video. In this case, for today, I will just make an image, backend Hugging Face Diffuser, which is an engine that's gonna run here. This is 512 by 512, is empty model. I will use the fastest one, MacGyver Roboetics. Let's make koala. Oh, okay, koala eating pizza. editing, generate. Hopefully this is working. If you are using Bing, koala eating pizza. I only have 8 credits left for today. It's a really basic prompting. You can Google search koala eating pizza. Koala eating pizza itself is quite common nowadays. Okay, this one already finished. We have with Bing we have 4 koala eating pizza as an illustration. Okay, could be a sticker. You can draw it yourself, but you know the AI do it faster. It doesn't mean you can sell this or whatever, but that's like another ethical question. But photograph of kangaroo. This one, oil painting of kangaroo eating burger. Oh, should we use donut? We can specify the iterations, but you see it's just gonna run and it's pretty fast. We are using this preview, and we specify actually by default is 25 steps. We can reduce this to 5 steps, and that's gonna work. Kangaroo doesn't look like kangaroo, it looks like more like a fox or like a llama, but we get something. And every time you generate, it's gonna generate a new one. I'll save this. The cool thing about the add-on, everything you create will be saved with blend file. So yeah, where's the button? So like I said, the add-on can actually project this image into 3D objects. This is just a cube, but you can model something that looks like a 3D image of a kangaroo. I think it's not very good at drawing kangaroo, but you get the idea. Okay, in this case we have a photorealistic. This one is much better. Bing is using DallE 3 and it's a lot more powerful than SDXL in different way. But you got the idea. We can prompt anything, so that's, even though it's controversial, it's still quite something I really like, just as a tool for brainstorming, things like that. For now, we don't need this 3D view. We can use text editor. So I'm just like doing like improvisation, right? This is Bart talking about function. Okay, this, I asked Bart AI if I have this pattern, gentleman, animal, sitting, daytime, nighttime. So daytime, nighttime can be specified. It gives me some ideas like this. I can paste it here. So it's a functions. It doesn't carry the nighttime and daytime, but this is, I mean, it's pretty good so far. So we can instead of using just a single prompt here, we're gonna use file batch and using this text, and we don't need to worry about this. We can just generate. So every prompt, any prompt the text will give you different result, and it can be randomized using this seed. So there's like a million, not exactly million, but you're gonna get for each prompt, each text prompt with random seed, you're gonna have, you know, like lots and lots of variations. So with 512 by 512, as you can see, it's a lot faster now than last year when I try to do this inside Blender using my machine. If I use 1020 by 1020, it's gonna be slower. But this is 25 steps, and we get some interesting result. This is all the list. Okay, I actually tell, okay, give me 25, give me 50. Okay, give me 20. Give me 20 more examples of prompts, but add render daytime or nighttime to the prompt, to the end of the prompt. So it's like me using, I'm asking Bart to create like a functions, or in this case, not exactly a function, but it's more like a prompt. And with the prompt, we can generate visuals, right? See, daytime, nighttime. So this is pretty good. I like Google Bart, but I also use Perplexity and Bing AI sometimes, whichever works. This one will generate 7 image. Okay, this one, let me save. So that's pretty cool. So look at this. It's getting more interesting now. I mean, we can imagine something like this, like a brainstorming, and normally you sit down, you're doing brainstorming, you want to draw something, right? And you need to have some kind of ideas what you want to draw, otherwise you're just gonna draw like random stuff. But now, the AI doing something every few seconds. Now I bring back the 3D because I want to draw something as well. It's not just AI doing stuff. I want to have some fun too. So right, draw, go to draw mode, and I will use grease pencil. Oh, by the way, I'm using Blender 3.6, and older grease pencil is okay. You can still draw things. So let me try. Draw something using my skill. Where are we? Giraffe. Kangaroo eating ice cream. Okay, this one daytime. See, daytime, nighttime could be tricky because we need to add shading. But kangaroo, I can draw kangaroo. It's more like a llama. See, I need to have proper reference. Kangaroo, long tail, legs. Kangaroo eating ice cream. Oh, ice cream. So of course, I mean, not all prompts will work. You can specify 2 animals, for example, kangaroo eating ice cream with another kangaroo. You can, okay, that's a kangaroo. I think it tends to give like a, you can actually make it more specific, like maybe taking the kangaroo portrait, draw the kangaroo from the side view or the front view. You can be more accurate like that, but you can start to think. I mean, if you are a cartoonist, like maybe I'm kind of like a cartoonist level or like storyboard artist level, of course. Okay, kangaroo is better with the nose. In theory you can draw anything, but of course you need to have reference as well, and cartoonists tend to draw things without perspective as well. So yeah. Oh, by the way, we don't let's see, we don't stop here, right? We have animals. Blender generating image using AI. There is also a lot of AI nowadays that can generate 3D in real time, which is pretty crazy. Luma AI. If I jump to their Genie and Prom, okay. Gentleman kangaroo eating ice cream by me generating. We might get a result in just few seconds. I don't know. Other people is generating a lot of things. In the excuse me. Oh yeah. In the past, I mean, you can use Sketchfab and search for 3D objects of what people created, or scan 3D scan or scalp manually. Oh yeah. Anyways, it's kangaroo ice cream in 3D. Which one do you like? Number 3. Refine number 3. If we pop this out, I believe it's already creating a 3D result for us, which is pretty amazing, right? It's like, wow, it's crazy. You can download this and you can print it out. This is a low version. You can refine it, and I think in a few minutes we're gonna get a refined version of this. This is quite a nice caricature of kangaroo with an ice cream. We can look at it from in 3D, and you can come back to this, the kangaroo and ice cream gelato. 3D artists work a little bit. They can work really fast. I mean, but it depends on your ability to capture the ideas, and you can draw it. I'm drawing it using mouse, but you can use anything, your iPad or any other stylus, your iPhone. I don't know. If it's really cartoony, you can draw it in any way you want. But this is something that, it's an information, right? You can give this to your friend and make it into a comics for you. Because you draw it, it's authentic, If you care to give a bit more time, you can paint it, whatever. Of course, yeah, you can. Nowadays, like, with the ability to use this, maybe oil painting of kangaroo, offering a gelato. A big gelato ice cream. You can specify daytime, nighttime also. It gets interesting, right? So greeting cards, if you handmade it, draw it, handmade it, paint it, print it, give it to your friend, it's more authentic that way, rather than asking AI. Sometimes you ask an illustrator to do that. Okay, which one your favorite? Yeah, all of this looks really cool. It's amazing, basically. I mean, yeah, it's scary and amazing at the same time. But yeah, so what do we do next? Like in this case, so like I said, this list is currently very basic. It doesn't mean anything, right? It doesn't explain an image. But if you're like a comic artist, like I said, like a manga artist, you can draw we can draw this manually, like a panel of drawings, and you can send this inside. If it's inside Blender, Blender is just one tool, one example. You can draw this frame by frame. You can animate it as well, but that's another story. But basically, as a storyboard, it's a really powerful tool. So before storyboard, you need to have story, right? Story. So it, if you need help with a story, you can also uh, ask help. I'll show you CapCut, for example, this CapCut, and there's also thin to thin tool. I think I talked about this before. Thin to thin make a lot of Blender add-on. The screenwriter one for Blender is, I think I made a video about this before. Screenwriter add-on is, I think, the more recent one, where you make a screen writing and then you can convert it from the fountain format. It's gonna create like a storyboard inside Blender. You can, yeah, and then you can create like a storyboard. In this case, you can also, if with a little bit of tweak, you can turn that into, so that the AI will draw from your script. Okay, which is pretty crazy as well. But CapCut, okay, don't install now. Script to video. Make me story about kangaroo going out and about making gelato from natural fruits. AI writer. Intelligent creation. Still, I think so. We nowadays we want like authenticity. Okay, this one. Oh, okay, story is more like that. Just use this script to make some kind of ads or story. So story is really powerful. That's why movie is so popular nowadays. It's not like music. I mean, with music you do like remix and stuff, but story or even like a manga storyboard. I think it's really powerful, because you can see how a manga can be translated into an animation or into a movie, or even like a video games. But nowadays people might actually start from video games and then make a movie. Video game is actually like a bigger, more powerful. Okay, story one. Okay, right, we get a lot of photos from internet. Gelato. It give you some kind of ideas. Someone can make a story, imaginary story about kangaroo making gelato. Anyhow, that's just an idea using CapCut. You can use AI to do that. If it's not scary enough. But yeah, animate it, create 3D versions, draw it. So yeah, where were we? I think that's pretty much what I want to talk about. Even though there's more to talk about this with this dream texture add-on. So let's say if I'm using a different model, I think this one is already completed. So we get all the image, the random stuff being generated. If I change this to, this one is a little bit slow, SSD1B, this one actually somewhat faster. So like I said, the whole thing is kind of a little bit philosophical, right? So of course, as an artist, really, to be honest, you better have, you definitely prefer your own drawings. In a way, it's more authentic. Usually it's more authentic because it comes from you, like from your imagination. It's gonna look much better because you make it, and there's a process. It's slower. I mean, you might look at the reference for this, and your drawing is not like the, it can be more realistic. It's not like you're not like Kim Jung-gi. I always, Kim Jung-gi is everyone favorite. When he draws something in perspective, drawing humans, it's amazing because it's almost like a performance art. It took hours maybe to make this, but he can just draw it without perspective line. But he's one of a kind anyway. Same things like Miyazaki Hayao, of course. Yeah, the famous Miyazaki and his drawings, concept art, animations. Of course, we also have Disney drawings, the Walt Disney drawings. I actually think that excuse me. I think the if we want to make a new Mickey Mouse, it's actually now is a good time. Make a new character. Not that we don't have enough character already, but you can create something from scratch like this. There's also Osamu Tezuka and Astro Boy. If you might have read some of his creations, character creations. Astro Boy, famous one, and a more recent one is actually Naoki Urasawa, Pluto. Pluto is based on Osamu Tezuka comics, the original versions, and the one that's more recent. If you subscribe to Netflix, you will find Pluto by Naoki Urasawa. So manga Naoki Urasawa Pluto is now already created as an anime on Netflix. It's pretty amazing. So it's kind of like a really nice evolutions of manga become an animations. Maybe in the future someone will make real life actions movie based on this. Same thing with One Piece actually. So I think because I grow up with manga and illustrations, so that's why I found this interesting. I It's not like I'm battling with it. I think the AI can do it faster, but the authenticity of you, like even with the story, if the story is based on what you experience in real life, it's gonna be more real. You can make it out of ether, but I think even like Harry Potter writer make things based on her experience in life. So that's, if you anchor it with real life experience, with your own personal experience or something that you learn from other people, that's gonna be more authentic. So it's more like an anchor. The AI can make something out of ether, but also it's pulling things from everywhere, and you can kind of guide it and train it. It can get inspirations, but One Piece manga versus anime versus live action. This is cool, right? Everyone actually wants to make something like this. So if you are like picture makers, a director, film, you aspire to be a director, start with storyboard, I guess. Storyboard, anime version might be slightly different, real life actions slightly different, but this is one example where the manga, anime, and the real life actions is actually loved by most people. Even the original anime, the original manga artist, what's his name? Oda. Eiichiro Oda. I think he should be proud of this. It's amazing. So yeah, well, if you, this is a basic koala. Koala is a koala. Can you create a character that's original based on something? We don't know yet. I mean, Super Mario is also another example. If it's character from video games, character. Mickey Mouse. So, big question mark. But like I said, if you want to make new Mickey Mouse or like something that's gonna be like as big as Disney with Disneyland and stuff, yeah, it's at the right time to do it. But you have to learn to draw and have your own character. That's which is, but you're gonna get influenced by AI art as well. I don't know. Most of AI, the AI will produce a lot of things. Like if you, of course, like many great artists will say, okay, you gotta look at classical painting, get inspiration from classical painting, and yeah, for rendering, compositions, things like that. Um, like that's kind of cute as well. Yeah, I think, but if we, oh yeah, back to the philosophy. You know what's really happening right now in the world? It's basically fx fx function. We are becoming a functions. That's basically what's happening. And the fx is blend. Okay, so everything is blended, everything is fusing. It's not like everything becoming like singularity, it's crazy theory like that. But yeah, I think blend files is really powerful ideas, philosophically speaking. If I make like my imaginary creations blenderian, we are all blenderian. So right, anyone use Blender, anyone can use Blender. You can just download it and you become part of the family blenderian, or a part of the tribes, whatever. But I think it's a nice idea, it's an interesting theory. So that's why we can create like a totem or something, like a peaceful totem. Okay, ice cream. So, but here's the thing. So yeah, the AI will just keep going and going. I mean, you don't need to make this kind of random stuff. It can be just one image, and then just with random seed you're gonna have image from, it can be like a reference image for your drawings, and that way you can sort of learn how to draw something. So that's the idea. So if you can, yeah, back to this guy, kangaroo and the gelato thing. Oops, did I delete it? Open Discord. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what I want to talk about. But from This is Luma AI, by the way, Luma AI. And okay, this is my kangaroo. Oh my goodness, this is too. This is too good. A little bit too good, and it's maybe a little bit scary for some people. It's not like you're gonna lose a job, but I think it's something else, you know. There you go. You can export this as, you can print this out, you can export it out, you can bring it into game engine, but you have a kangaroo and gelato. But this is like, you can just use it. It's become like a sculpture, right? A sculpture is means a lot of things as well. You can, it's a 3D sculpture. But if you want a kangaroo animated holding a gelato, you have to separate the gelato. You need to have a kangaroo kind of rig. You have to animate the character, make this character to talk, and you're animatable. If you want to turn it into a game, you have to make it so it's jumping and animate. So it's becoming, it's like in the past, Mickey Mouse, Disney, Walt. It's yeah, Walt Disney drawing Mickey Mouse and it's become alive. This is always like a good one, because he explained how to create Mickey Mouse, but he's not worried that Mickey Mouse, like people will copy Mickey Mouse, because probably already trademarked Mickey Mouse, things like that. So copyright, I don't know how we handle copyright. Maybe it's gonna be different in the future, but the first person, maybe the way I draw this koala is too basic. But and kangaroo is kangaroo. Kangaroo holding gelato is not like copyrightable. Anyone can make this nowadays, so using AI or whatever. Or you can sculpt this yourself and make it yours, so that's authentic as well. You add your own voice, maybe that's making it authentic. Anyhow, yeah, it's a whole business of creating something, so you become like a creator, almost like a god level creators. If you can make a story, yeah, it might be something. So hopefully you find this useful. It's very strange, philosophical Blender live noding video. Or no, it's not live noding, it's BSLIVE. I don't use nodes, but yeah, if you can have a story, you can tell a story nowadays with the help of AI. So nothing can really stop you. Have a story, make storyboard, draw some things, make it into 3D, make movies. It's almost like, yeah, you can do everything by yourself, sort of, but not really. You need to find team to make what you want to make. So you can make it yourself as well if you want to. So one man's band, that's possible as well with the help of AI, I guess. So FX, everything is FX, everything is blended. All right, so that's pretty much for this video. Hopefully you find it useful. Until next time, thank you, bye.